Hello everyone, good evening from Tokyo. Today I have a great pleasure to speak with Mina Golkar. Mina, she is a relationship empowerment coach for women in corporate world.
Hey Ed, it's my pleasure. Thank you so much for the invite. Well, I work in corporate world myself. I am a project controls consultant. I live in London, actually, in the UK. And I have, during my upbringing, I was born in Tehran, Iran. And when I was born, the country was in a war. And then our parents just had to do everything they could to make sure that they can provide for us in life. And we kind of didn't get that love and that attention that we could get from them because they were always busy working. My parents are both entrepreneurs and they were both working together. And I have another three brothers, which I'm the eldest child. So I was always the responsible one for the well-being of everyone, for making sure that everybody's looked after at home, for food and everything. So growing up, I had so much responsibilities on my shoulder, but at the same time, I wasn't feeling worth of time of my parents and worth of their love because they were always absent and they could never see how much effort I had to put in to make sure that my brothers were well looked after. And that limiting belief kind of built up in me. And when I was working in corporate sector as a grown-up adult, I'm 39 years old now, I was still experiencing that same thing. I was feeling that I'm not worthy of, I don't know, the time of my line manager or the director. I would not feel seen or feel heard. And then I started doing this work, like the inner work on myself a couple of years ago, because that pressure of not being seen and not being heard was just piling up and I could not take the pain anymore. And by starting to do the inner work, I found out that it was all those limiting beliefs and it was all built up in me by my upbringing. My parents are the most two amazing parents ever. They did everything they could to provide us the best life they could. My dad has a very successful business now as a result of the work they have put in. And I realized that it is just me, and the outside world is seeing me. It is me who I'm shying away, who I'm feeling I'm not worthy of their time, whom I'm feeling I'm not lovable. So I then realized those limiting beliefs are blocking us of actually showing up and expressing ourselves fully and authentically. I was always feeling that I need to be a people pleaser in order to be loved or in order to be seen. But by doing the work, I realized that it's actually when I'm my true self and when I'm my authentic self, that is when I can voice myself out and I can express myself. And then people around me, being my bosses, colleagues, line manager, my partner at home, my children, then they were able to actually see me and to actually get to know me for real. And that is why I have chosen, even though I'm still working in corporate sector, because I have seen the two end of the spectrum, how it was when I was never feeling heard or seen or loved truly for who I was. And now I can see how much people more respect me for when I'm me, and I can actually stand up for myself and tell the truth, my truth, and share what I think or my opinion in a meeting or at home or with my partner. I no longer am that people pleaser that I used to be. Like I always call it the vanilla ice cream, which is the flavor that everybody loves. I became my own flavor. Like I love chocolate ice cream, so I became the flavor of the ice cream that I like, and then I would resonate and I would hang out with the people whom they also have the same interest. So that is why I chose to become a relationship empowerment coach and work with women in corporate sector because I have got the same life experience, which is what I would like to share with them and get them to taste the life the way that I have now.
Or what wakes up you in the morning? What is your passion?
I have always loved meaningful connections, as I said, from my childhood, because my mom, like as children, we start building up relationships. The very first relationship that we built up is with our caregivers. And because my parents were absent at that time that I was building up my characteristics, I was always feeling that I'm missing that meaningful, deep connection with someone, which is led me to actually get married at the age of 19, because I thought that is a way for me to have someone to love me, to have a meaningful connection and relationship with. But then, to my surprise, later I realized that wasn't the case, and I didn't know why. But as I said, when I did the inner work during the past couple of years, that is when I realized that you really need to be connected and to know yourself, and to have that meaningful connection with your own self, with your authentic self, which is why I'm keep emphasizing it is important for us to get to know ourselves. We usually get our identity through the eyes of others, and we know ourselves through how others knows us. And we even go one step further, and we become who we think others think we are. So rather than knowing who we are, we become who we think they think we are. So it is like a completely wrong image of ourselves that most of us have. And by just sitting there and doing the inner work, we would be able to again connect with our true self, and to identify what are actually our values, what like wakes me up every morning, and like to get to know your real you. And then that would be able to make you to be fully shine inside out and connect with other people, and then that gives you the real essence of having those real connections and meaningful relationships with people around you.
And Mina, like, what is the typical problem for women in corporate world, from your experience and from the women who you are trying to help with your coaching?
They would put 100% out. They are burnt out, but they never feel seen or heard, because they always think that everybody else, mostly other men at their work, they are the ones who are taking the credit. They are the ones who are getting seen. And like, women never feel heard or seen or appreciated for what they put in. Like I was saying to my friend, I sometimes feel I'm like that Wonder Woman or Superwoman who comes there, takes care of everything, saves the day, and then disappears. And then nobody even knows how everything got done. And she never gets the appreciation that she deserves. And that is how I realize it is only when you feel you are worthy of being appreciated, you are worthy of being seen, you are worthy of being heard for what you want to say. That is when you would actually stand up for yourself, and that is when you become your own voice. And that is what I would love all women in corporate world to have, to be able to be their own voice rather than having to hide behind somebody else.
And what is your opinion about the work-life balance? Is that kind of myth, or is that real problem in a corporate world?
That's a very good question, actually. And I think if you don't put that balance for yourself, you will just get sucked into corporate world like crazy. Because always work-life balance has been a very important topic to myself, as I said, because I have seen my parents that they were just working 24/7, and like from the life of children, when we were looking at them, we never got their love. And even though they could provide us with a really like comfortable luxury life, but it's not all about the money. What you take to your family, it is yourself, your being. And unless you have got that work-life balance, you would not be able to be present for them, to give the love that they deserve.
From your perspective, how this crisis helping people, and especially helping women, to understand that they can maybe work more flexible than they used to? And do you think, what is your prediction that after this finish, everything will be just like as before, or maybe we can think about more flexible work-life time and balance between working from home, working in the corporate, in a company, in office?
I love I love this topic. We were talking between me and my other colleagues the other day about it as well. Actually, I think at the very beginning it was kind of a challenging time for people to start working from home, and also for employers and for businesses to have their employees working from home. But thanks to coronavirus and the length of the lockdown, everybody has now adjusted to the new routine, and people learned to work from home, and employers got more flexible with people working from home. And it will actually decrease the cost of running businesses for the businesses and for the employers, to have a smaller offices and to have less commute costs for the employees, and also for employees to be able to have more participations in their like life routine, as well as being able to produce more, because when they are comfortable that the things that they needed to take care of are taken care of by their presence, they can also concentrate and focus more on doing the work that they need to do. For now, our children are at home, so it might be a bit difficult for parents who have children at home. But after the lockdown is finished and the kids start going to school, so that during the day we have got that peace and quiet that we need at home, I think it will have a really positive impact on bringing that life work balance to everybody's homes. For businesses, they will reduce costs by allowing work flexibility and working from home to their employees, and for employees to have a chance to work from home if they choose to, or go to offices if they want to. I don't think the world will go back to how we knew it. I think there will definitely be a new normality, and I only see lots of positive impacts coming out of what is going on at the moment.
Thank you for sharing this. And Mina, why is it important to hire a coach as a corporate woman to help you to connect with your inner you and to have a better relationship and to be empowered?
I personally have two coaches. I have a life coach and I have a business coach. And because I have experienced how much of a difference it makes when you have a coach and someone who holds you accountable for the actions and for the goals that you have set for yourself, to actually reach them, versus when I had nobody and I only had the desire of being empowered, and I only had the desire of being able to speak out for myself and having the desire of starting this business for myself. So once it was only my desire and in my dreams, but by like getting the coaches that I have, I only work with really successful and like empowered coaches, and they hold me accountable for the plans that we come up with together in our initial like a stage of working together. And then they would make sure it is like having that coach at the gym. If you are getting prepared for Olympic, to attend any of the like competitions, you would not just go at home and do the work yourself thinking that, okay, I'm gonna go to Olympic and I'm gonna win a medal. If you want to step up to Olympic level, that is when you would hire a coach. And it works exactly the same. If you really like strongly want to be that a strong person who can express themselves fully and who can enjoy the life fully in their own full authentic presence, then I would 100% suggest having a coach would make a huge difference for their progress.
Thank you, Mina. And for all corporate women who you want to help with, how they can work with you? Is that online? Is that one-on-one, group work?
Thank you for asking this question and giving me the opportunity to share how my like strategy works. I am planning to have only one-on-one coaching clients at the beginning, and to start having like a tribe and start raising awareness and raising confidence in them. And once my coaching clients were at a consciousness that I thought they are ready, then I would start having group calls as well. And it will always be via Zoom call. And after they are all ready to contribute to each other's growth, then I would start having group calls. And then, because it's always through sharing that we learn and we grow, and the more chance they have got to share their own stories, what they did and what happened, we start learning from the next one and the next one. And it is like if we are raising consciousness of our tribe all together. So that is my plan. I would start doing one-to-one calls at the beginning, and then eventually I will start having group coaching as well.
How do you see that your business is going to be maybe in this year and in the following years? What is the vision of this for you personally, and how do you want to achieve that?
And I will do this on the side of my day work. I will try to have one coaching client per evening. And once I had enough of coaching clients, then I would gradually switch to becoming a full-time coach.
Thank you for sharing and be honest with us. I'm curious also because you have now your full-time job and this is your side job, and you also have a family and kids. So how do you re-energize yourself? How do you keep doing all those tasks, be successful, and still feel like as a woman, like you still have some time for yourself and re-energize? What do you do and what kind of daily routines you have?
For me, my morning routine is the most important part of my day. That sets the scene for the whole day. So I wake up every morning about 6 o'clock and I leave home about 6:30. I live in London Central, just about 10-15 minutes walk to Regent Park, which is one of the big and most beautiful parks in London. So every morning I go to park from 7 to 8:45. I leave the park about 8:40, 8:45 to be at home at work for 9 o'clock start. And during that 2 hours in the park, I listen to the audiobooks that I listen, or to the coaches that I would like, that are my role models, or to the motivational speakers that I listen to. I also do 20 minutes meditation in the park. I use an app which they do guided meditation, and maybe you've heard of Headspace. I heard about it a couple of years ago, but I never took it serious until last year. And last year, I started to do the meditations 20 minutes in the morning and 20 minutes in the evening before going to bed. Because again, before you go to bed, you want to clear out all your worries and everything from your head so that you can have a relaxed 5 or 6 hours sleep during the night and again wake up fresh. So for me, having that morning routine, walking in the park and doing my meditation in the park is what brings me grounded and centered and ready to tackle another day.
Mina, thank you so much for sharing the start of your journey. I'm quite confident that you're going to be successful. I wish you all the best in this year and in following years. Thank you one more time for being part of our community. Please be free to reach out for everything you need, and also for all ladies who are watching the video. If you find yourself as a corporate woman who want to find a better connection and relationship with your inner self and be empowered, then please be free to reach out to Mina. So she definitely can help you with her experience and with, as you can see, with her energy and creating a good balance of energy with all tasks you might have.
One last tip. If you want to have extraordinary results, you just need to repeat ordinary things consistently. And that is why I was emphasizing on the importance of having a morning routine or an evening routine, something as simple as that, but only because you are like training your nervous system to be consistent with whatever you are doing. Doing those little ordinary things consistently would make you to have extraordinary results. So if you want to take one tip out of today, I would love that to be that.
To create the momentum. Thank you so much for sharing this. This is great advice.
Thank you.